Wow. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm finally going to be reviewing the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk 4xe. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Bountiful, Utah for giving me some time with this 4xe. This one actually is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below. If you have any questions whatsoever, just ask for Chris or Connor. They'll be more than happy to help you out. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and a hybrid system. Total system output is 375 horsepower and then 470 pound-feet of torque, with the fuel economy rating being 56 mpge and then 23 miles per gallon if you do not take into account the hybrid system whatsoever, so that's engine only. If you guys are wondering, battery size 17.3 kilowatt hours, and then we have a driving range of 26 miles. Wow, that was a lot. Now let's go with the front end of this Grand Cherokee Trailhawk 4xe. So first off, we have the Trailhawk decal, and you guys can see here with the 4xe, it says, well, Trailhawk, but it's in blue with the accenting instead of red, like what you have with a Trailhawk with the V6 or the 5.7 Hemi. And seeing this in person finally, I really like the blue on the Trailhawk. I like the red too, but I think the blue looks better in person. Now we've got these cool orange accent lights here, and then you guys can see with the LED headlights, Jeep's signature front grille. Notice that it's all blacked out because again the Trailhawk is supposed to be a sporty package. The Jeep logo has some blue accenting. We've got the blue tow hooks here on the front end, and if you guys are wondering, I do have this in the highest ride height setting, and you can see in this setting it looks pretty aggressive. That's kind of the more normal ride height setting if you guys are wondering. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 265/60/18 in the front and over in the rear as well. And so we actually have a true off-roader setup with the tires and wheels. And you guys can see that you probably couldn't go any smaller than 18 because, well, the brakes are pretty large and it pretty much fills out the whole wheel. Now, like I said, this does have air suspension, so I've got it raised up. And in this top setting, it has about 11.3 inches of ground clearance. You guys can see these are pretty aggressive tires. If you want to see a similar package to this off-road, then just look up Ben Hardy Jeep Grand Cherokee off-road review and you'll see me take the Overland off-road group off-road. That's a lot of off-road in once. Anyways, you guys can see trail rated badge also in blue. You've got the blue accenting here on the side. Notice that the whole top is all blacked out, so it has this cool two-tone appearance. And I also got to give myself a shout out. If you want to see more reviews just like this, then subscribe because I post videos every single day. Let's continue on. So here's our key fob. You guys can see we've got the Jeep logo there on the back. We have our unlock function or lock function remote start, and then the opening here for the hatch. We'll press that a couple times and that'll pop the hatch right open. And you guys can see tons of storage space here in the rear. And if we actually pick this up, you can see the spare tire underneath. Now, it doesn't look like it's an all-terrain tire like the tires you get. And then notice the 4xe kit because you've got like the charger and all that kind of stuff that comes with it. But anyways, one big benefit of the Grand Cherokee is, well, massive amounts of storage space here in the rear. And that's why people absolutely love Grand Cherokees. And then pressing that, there we go. Now finishing things up with the rest of the rear, again, we've got the blue around the Jeep logo, and then notice I've got this like black piece of trim that connects the lights here on the back. Got our Trailhawk badge again with the blue accenting. Parking sensors here on the rear. We have our recovery hook. And something that I find interesting is we don't have like a prominent exhaust tip. We do have one that's kind of hanging out there at the bottom, but they don't flash it, which is pretty interesting because they actually have a Summit over there that's also 4xe that hopefully I'll be able to review another day. It has exhaust tips that poke out quite a bit. But anyways, that's the rear. So here's the door panel in the back. First off, we have the sunshade here for the rear passengers. I love the dark trim there at the top and the silver trim down below it. And look at that blue stitching. That is fun. And then really nice padding here. And then here are the seats. So again, we've got that blue stitching there. And then look at the inserts here in the center. I think that all looks fantastic. And I'll pop in. Now, again, I do have this at the higher ride height setting, so it does make it a little bit more difficult to get in, but you can obviously lower it down. Anyways, legroom. Headroom, nothing's changed here. Notice we've got a little storage pocket there, and then we've got some more storage here, some vents, and then all of the outlets and heated seat controls and everything down. It's got everything down there. That's cool. cup holder, armrest, and let's head to the front. So here is the front door panel. You guys can see again with the silver trim, and then I love the darker trim there at the top. It has kind of a cool texture to it. Or well, it looks like it has texture. Everything's smooth, but hard to explain. You have to see it in person anyways. Blind spot mounting for the mirrors. And then again with the blue stitching. All of our window controls here. Notice that the front two are automatic. We've got all of our mirror controls as well. And then notice you can power fold in the mirrors if you want. And then here are the front seats. And it's so cool to see the Trailhawk logo here in person. Again, you've got the inserts here with the seats. All of our power adjustments. And then here's a quick look at the pedals, and then you guys can see the hood latch release. And then we've got all of our light controls here, but more important is above the light controls. So first off, that's to open up the gas cap. And then you have your e-save mode, which will basically not use the battery and charge it up with the engine. We've got our electric mode, and then you have your hybrid mode, so full electric, pretty self-explanatory, and then hybrid. I feel like that's also pretty self-explanatory. Also, we have 1,050 pounds of payload with this, and I think the other sticker's on this door jamb. So gross vehicle weight rating is 6,900 pounds, and so that makes this pretty chunky. I mean, this weighs like over 6,000 pounds. I didn't know that. And then last thing before we pop in all the way, we do have the charging port here, which, yeah, just click there. And it doesn't have DC fast charging. Makes sense, it's a plug-in hybrid. I don't think there's any plug-in hybrids that do have DC fast charging, but there you go. So here's the steering wheel for the Trailhawk. I really love the trim. Feels really nice in your hands. Got another Trailhawk logo. And then again, here's a better look at that trim so you can see like the pattern on it. That's what I was talking about earlier. Blue stitching. This does have regular cruise control as well as adaptive cruise control. Now the thing's really cool about Jeep's cruise control and the driving assist systems is that you basically can just have your hand like lightly on the steering wheel while you're using the steering assist and everything, and it'll steer for you, but you don't have to like really grab the steering wheel, which is nice. Radio controls in the back, paddle shifters here for that 8-speed automatic. Controls for the center stack, phone controls, turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, and there's the steering wheel. So my camera's having a struggle focusing here on the screen. But anyways, you guys can see right now we have almost a full charge. And you can see it says 24 miles of electric driving range. And then again, notice the air suspension, we're in the off-road 2 setting. But again, that's one of the big benefits of this is, again, being a plug-in hybrid, you can drive it in full electric mode, which we will do today. And then over here on the other side, you can see some other stuff here for the hybrid setup. So it lets us know if we're charging, basically, or if we're using power. And again, sorry about the glare, it's kind of hard to see that. But overall, I do like Jeep's new digital gauge cluster because it's really cool, all the different bits of information that you can see here in the center on the vehicle, the different systems that come with it as well. I like it to just look like this little clean view, but still cool. Anyways, other stuff. We do have a couple of different drive modes. So we got a sport mode, turns on the engine right away. We have a snow mode, sand mode, and then we have a rock mode as well for the different drive modes. They will adjust the suspension. They'll ask you to do different things. Like if you go in the rock mode, it tells you to go into 4-wheel low, for example. Now, before we go over the infotainment screen, I do want to mention here at the top, so you guys can see we have this on right here. This is to make it so it's one pedal drive. We've got the lane departure, stability control, hazard lights, parking sensors, and then this has the passenger screen function to turn that on because this comes with the passenger screen. I'm pretty sure it's standard on the Trailhawk, which I find kind of, or yeah, on the Trailhawk 4xe rather, which I find kind of interesting. But anyways, here is the infotainment screen. If I pop it in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Full 360 view here, which I'm a huge fan of. And notice that the front camera has the trail markers. Man, it's so cool. And then you can see it shows the hybrid information, so it shows what's happening, right? Which is pretty cool, and the energy transfer. I don't know, I think that stuff's neat to see. Dual zone climate, we have heated and ventilated seats here in the Trailhawk. Response half the screen is good, it's pretty easy to use. I like that it has a shortcut bar there at the bottom, it kind of helps out overall. But we still have analog controls here on the Grand Cherokee, so you can see analog controls for the seats, the climate controls, radio controls as well. And then if we push this tab, which I am never able to do the first time, we've got like our charging area, wireless phone charging pad, bunch of USB ports, all that, and we'll just put that back into place. Shifter for our 8-speed automatic transmission, and then this is the drive mode select. And like I said, if you go into a different drive mode, sometimes it'll ask you to do things. So like if you go into rock mode, it'll tell you to put in 4-wheel low, and to put in 4-wheel low, just like most, you know, SUVs and trucks in history, right? neutral, and then you can start into 4-wheel low with that little button right there. And then we do have an off-road cruise control system, sway bar disconnect. That's another big thing here with the Trailhawk Grand Cherokee. This is the only Grand Cherokee that has that sway bar disconnect, which will give you a little bit more front articulation. And then that's for the air suspension to adjust it up or down. We'll put it into the normal ride height setting for on-road driving. A couple cup holders, and then we got a center console. It's got the 2 different tabs, and then glove box, pretty normal. Yeah, I love the trim here. And then this has the camera mirror, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of. And you can't really see this, but, well, maybe now you can. We've got the controls for, like, the panoramic sunroof here, so they're all there in the center. And then that's for, like, the hatch and SOS button, all that kind of stuff. But there's the top. So here's our window sticker for this Trailhawk. You guys can see the base price, $63,660. And notice that almost everything is standard equipment that we went over. This does have some packages. So we've got the Advanced Pro Tech Group 2, and you guys can see that adds like the night vision, surround view camera system, everything. So definitely worth it. And then the Luxury Tech Group 3. I hate how they use so many different numbers with the different packages with Jeep. It makes things confusing, but you can see everything that adds. And then the panoramic sunroof. Total MSRP on this one is $70,970. Now some stuff to go over. Powertrain, it says 5-year 60,000 mile, and then you've got an 8-year 100,000 mile on the high voltage battery system. And then we have a 3-year 36,000 mile on the basic. And so you have like lots of different warranties with lots of different time spans and mileage amounts. And so, yeah, suffice to say, it does make things slightly confusing, I suppose. But anyways, let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, and I love the dash because again, you got that blue stitching and nice padding. Both the mirrors, again, they've got blind spot monitoring, and throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So, setting off here in the Trailhawk, and I am so excited to finally be able to drive this. I know it might seem silly because I, had the 4xe Overland for a week, but like, the Trailhawk's so much cooler than the Overland, let's be honest here. And so yeah, I just want to see how this thing performs. So I'm actually going to pop it into the full electric mode. Now, something I will say that's annoying is these buttons are over here off to the side, and so it's kind of difficult to see exactly what you're doing. You kind of have to memorize where the buttons are. I've had 2 different 4xEs for a week at this point. I had the Wrangler last year, and then I had the Grand Cherokee earlier this year. I'm not sure why someone's honking like crazy. But anyways, other than someone honking like crazy, so I kind of have like the buttons memorized a little bit. But in the full electric mode, no engine, all I can hear is the climate controls. And by the way, I'm gonna turn on that air conditioned seat. I'm glad that the AC seats are standard equipment because a lot of off-road oriented vehicles won't even allow you to have air conditioned seats. I know it's like a luxury feature, but it's a nice one to have. Okay, so moving along a little bit further here in the 4xe, so I'm gonna kind of punch it a little bit in the electric mode. It's not like gonna throw you in the back of your seat at all in terms of the acceleration, but it actually has decent get up and go, which is impressive. And again, that one pedal drive function, basically, it's not like super aggressive, but it's aggressive enough that I pretty much don't have to use the brakes at all if I have to slow down. I really like the steering wheel. Like the feel of it, I think is really solid. Just material used throughout with the new Grand Cherokee, I think is very impressive. And something I want to mention that has always been strange to me is these school zones, and I don't know if this is like ever in the US, but like in Utah, they're super tiny. Like a lot of the times there will be like a school zone and it'll be like this like maybe like, I don't know, 30 feet long, and then it's like enter school zone, exit school zone. It's like, what? Okay. So right now I've got it in the sport mode. We're not gonna get acceleration yet because we have yet another school zone, but I wanted to kind of talk about how different this drives when you have the engine on versus off. So when you have the engine off, again, it gets up and moves at a pretty decent pace, but it's not like crazy quick, but it's enough acceleration for like around town stuff. Now, when you have the engine on, it's like really like torquey low end because again, you get that push from the electric side of things. And then once that turbo spools up, it kind of like pushes even more. And so it feels really good. Like, I think that in terms of like driving feel, the hybrid setting is going to feel the best out of all the settings. But obviously, you know, that's not going to be the best in terms of getting, you know, the best out of this system, because if you want to get the most out of this system, then you're going to want to basically have it in electric mode as much as you can and charge it as often as you can. Okay, so we're gonna get a little acceleration here in the sport mode. Wow. So it does take a second for like everything to happen, because again, downshift, and then the whole like system has to like come into play, and I lost that off the dash. But man, is this thing quick when you put your foot down. And again, you guys got to remember, this thing weighs as much as like a half-ton pickup truck, but it's quick on its feet, that is for sure. That's so fun. So let's kind of sum things up with the Trailhawk 4x. And sorry that the driving today wasn't exactly the best, because, well, went through like 3 different school zones, and so I kept having to like stop the filming, slowly go through the school zone, and then, you know, you guys get it. But anyways, from an exterior aesthetics perspective, I think this thing looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, it is such a cool looking vehicle. I love the interior here of the Trailhawk as well. It's just, I don't know, it has this kind of like special feel, especially like the blue stitching here with the 4xe package. And then as for the 4xe powertrain, I've honestly gone back and forth on the powertrain, but here's what I have to say is, in full production vehicles, with what I've felt, it is probably my favorite powertrain now. It obviously isn't as simplistic or as, you know, reliable as the 5.7 Hemi, and, you know, that has a similar horsepower output to this, but this obviously has way more torque. However, you know, Jeep's been doing this for a while now, and so they've been able to work out, like the 2.0 turbo, that's a super reliable engine, we know that. The hybrid side of things, they've been able to work out a lot of the quirks now, and so, I mean, it just, like, look at this. Seamless. Like, it's just, I did not have that with the pre-production Grand Cherokee 4xe that I had for the week, but with this full production unit, yeah, it seems like it just does everything that you want it to do. And again, that's one pedal drive right there. I didn't have to press the brake at all. That's so cool. So yeah, this is probably my favorite new SUV crossover on the market that's under, I mean, this is $70,000. So let's say $70,000 and under. There's nothing else that I'd rather have than the Trailhawk 4xe, because again, you plug it in and you can do your, you know, normal day-to-day commutes, not using any gas at all, and then you can go on off-road adventures, and this has a ton of range. I mean, we have 70 miles of range and we have like almost no gas, and so on a full tank, this is probably close to like 400 miles of range with a full tank and fully charged up. And so, like, that's a ton of off-roading that you could do. Yeah, I love this thing. If you've got the money, buy it. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe Trailhawk. And again, like I said, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Cresta here in Bountiful, Utah, for giving me some time with this Grand Cherokee. Link to the inventory in the description down below. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Chris or Connor. They'll be more than happy to help you out. I'll see ya.